It's Saturday. It's Jupiter. It's my thoughts exactly. Episode 40, everyone. Yes, I've done 40 episodes of MTE. Can you believe it? I think that deserves a little comedy clown car honk, don't you? Oh, thank you. Last week I gave you 9 ideas that you could do to help make the time fly by faster in case you're stuck up north and winter seems endless. But there was a 10th thing which I omitted, which I'll share with you now. Get out of town. Yes, that's right, head south. So I'm here in Jupiter, Florida. Well, not exactly Jupiter, Florida. I'm in a little town just north of Jupiter called Tequesta. Okay. Not even Tequesta. I'm just north of Tequesta, over the border into Martin County. Here's a map. I'm somewhere there. Kirk is down here doing Brighton Beach memoirs at the Maltz Jupiter Theater. And they put Kirk and I up in this amazing guest house on someone's property in a community called Jupiter Hills. The houses here are deluxe. Here's a shot of a house I love that's just down the block. I expect Kim Kardashian to come walking out of that one. Not bad for a little Polish kid from Queens, right? Oh, speaking of Queens, my book is coming along really great. I'm in the second edit now. My book is all about my life growing up in Queens in the 1960s and 70s. I was working last night on a chapter called Sputnik. Back in 1957, the Russians launched the first satellite, and it was nicknamed Sputnik. That was on October 4th. On November 20th, I came along. So all my aunts and uncles nicknamed me Baby Sputnik. My mother had no idea she was pregnant at the time. She thought she was sick. She thought she had a tumor. That was a story that was repeated to me over and over again by my Aunt Mamie or my Aunt Hattie and Uncle Doc sitting on my mother's French provincial sofa in the living room, my 5-year-old thighs stuck to the plastic slipcovers, a haze of cigarette smoke hovering just above my eyes. Yeah, your mother didn't know she was pregnant. She thought she had a tumor. Can you imagine? Oh, you were so cute. You were Baby Sputnik. The nickname Sputnik soon gave way to another nickname, Chucky. Or worse, the one my mother used to use to wake me up at 7 a.m. in the morning, wiggling my toes under my blanket. Wake up, Chucky Wucky, time to get up. My mother was not a very warm and fuzzy person. Wiggling my toes under my blanket at 7 a.m. was as affectionate as she got. She saw everything in life as a hardship. Life was to be endured, never enjoyed. As a little child staying at home with her in the mornings, I was privy to her lessons that she would repeat over and over again on a daily basis. If the phone rang while she was cooking dinner, she'd mumble under her breath, "Jesus Christ, who could that be?" while she banged a pot or a pan. She held a weekly wrestling match with our Eureka vacuum cleaner, during which time I would hide in our basement and play with my toys, while I listened to her banging the vacuum cleaner around on the legs of the living room furniture upstairs, swearing and cursing all the way. Holiday meals, cooking holiday meals, Thanksgiving or Christmas were never pleasurable. It was always a chore. And she never let me help by peeling a carrot or chopping a tomato or vacuuming a rug, which if I did might have helped her a little. On the rare occasions when she let me peel the carrots, she'd watch me for a few minutes and then grab the peeler out of my hands and say, "You can't do anything right, leave me alone." And then she'd point in the direction of our front porch and say, "Go watch TV." So I'd sit on the floor of our living room porch gazing up at the TV and watch endless episodes of Julia, Family Affair, and the Brady Bunch. And wondering, something was wrong with these families. No one's yelling at each other. Now, Granny chasing Jethro around the house with a rolling pin, that was a family I could relate to. That was more like it. Now, I have to admit, as I don't want to paint a completely unflattering picture of my mother, that she did have some pleasure in life. She loved to clip coupons out of magazines like Red Book or Family Circle while she watched the Mike Douglas show. And she loved to cook. My mother was an excellent cook. And later on, she discovered gardening, and she grew most of the vegetables and things that we ate on our dinner plates from her garden. She grew the most amazing tomatoes and cucumbers, the taste and size of which was a testament to her dedication. She would fertilize the dirt in our tiny postage stamp of a backyard out in Queens with the compost from her kitchen, coffee grounds, eggshells, banana peels, the tips of scallions, and the leafy tops of the carrots. Nothing went to waste in our house. But when things didn't go right, my mother grew easily frustrated. Pierogies that stuck to the pan, or cakes that didn't rise, or the worst sin of all, lumpy gravy, made her throw in the towel, which I've literally saw her do on several occasions. My mother's kitchen was equipped with every gadget and utensil that you can imagine. The only thing missing was a dishwasher. To my mother's Depression-era mentality, a dishwasher was only for the rich people on Park Avenue. Knowing we could well afford one, I once said to her, "Mom, why don't we get a dishwasher?" My mother, standing at the kitchen sink, a frying pan in one hand and a Brillo pad in the other, turned slowly to stare at me, her gaze hard and scowling. She raised both her hands, the frying pan and the Brillo pad still attached to both, and she said, "I have a dishwasher, see? This is my dishwasher." I eventually stopped offering her suggestions to make her life easier. I realized she took an odd sort of pleasure in suffering. She did everything the long way, the hard way. She used to say, "If you're gonna do something, do it right." The only help I could give her was stay out of her way and not question her supreme wisdom or her indisputable logic. My book is called Child Star, and it'll be out in time for the Christmas holidays. I am so happy that Awkwafina has a new show called Nora from Queens. It is on Comedy Central on Wednesday nights at 10:30. I watched it. It is fantastic. Here's a shot. That house actually looks like the house next door to us in Elmhurst. Did everyone watch the presidential debates this week? A lot of bad behavior from a lot of the candidates, right? I felt that the only two that kept calm and kept their emotions in control were Amy Klobuchar and Mike Bloomberg. Yes, Mike Bloomberg and Amy. Those are my two candidates. All the others seem so desperate. Last week, Chaka Khan, one of my favorite R&B and disco performers from the 1980s and 1990s, sang the Star-Spangled Banner at the NBA game. And she came under a lot of criticism for her performance of it. So I went to YouTube to check it out and see what all the fuss was about. It wasn't bad at all. Yeah, okay, so she adjusted some of the notes and changed the melody a little bit. But hey, that's Chaka Khan. That's what she does. She's a legend. I mean, don't call her up and ask her to sing if you don't want her to do that. And she looked really great. Here's a photo of her. Personally, I am so tired of all the negativity and criticism that flies around the internet. I wish people would just accept everybody and love everybody and their talents. But I am glad that Justin Bieber shaved off his mustache. Here's a picture of him with it. He's kind of rocking that 1970s porn star look, right? But I do love his new album called Changes, and I can't stop playing it. And one of my favorite tracks is called Intentions that he does with Quavo. So I'll say bye-bye now and leave you with that track and some news bites while I enjoy my cup of coffee and my piece of key lime pie. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching My Thoughts Exactly, episode 40. I'll see you all next week. We'll still be down here in Florida. News bites. Jason Momoa is Ozzy Osbourne in Ozzy's video for his song Scary Little Green Men. Prince Harry and John Bon Jovi will meet this week when Bon Jovi records Unbroken with the Invictus Games Choir at Abbey Road Studios in London. Have you been patiently waiting for a Friends reunion? Well, it's coming. HBO Max reunites the original cast for a special to air in May. Remember, there is always something to celebrate. Every day.